What's your chances of getting an enchanted? What about an iconic? They're beautiful, they're pretty, they're new, everybody wants to get one. How about epics? Does that change the rare distribution now in a pack with the increased rarities? Good news for all of you who love math and formulas and spreadsheets. I have a spreadsheet for you at the end of this. So if you want a link directly to the stuff that I'm about to talk about, I'm going to put that in the description down below. And there's also a QR code if you like to scan things at the end of the video. So let's kind of get into math and how much I love math. So first off, I'm Rachel. I own the deck box out in Canada. We've been tracking our Lorcana pulls and pull rates and openings from the beginning. So I have data going back to the first chapter. And we've been doing kind of the same thing with each one. We open 44 boxes and we track all of the stuff that comes out of it. Things to note, if you really like tracking data, I do not track commons and uncommons at 44 boxes. Commons and uncommons feel like they are infinite in number, and I don't go through and spend the hours and hours it would take to count every single one of the commons. Once I get the commons I need for my inventory, the rest just get put in a box. But rares, super rares, legendaries, enchanteds, epics now, iconics, those are all counted and on my spreadsheet. Other things to note, I don't ship. I get this question a lot, so we do not ship any Lorcana or anything out there. But if you happen to be in the area or you live locally, come on by and say hi. So that is that. Let's get into the fun stuff with it, which is math. And if you're more of a graphics person, I got you with graphics here. So this specifically, I'm going to be talking about Fabled, but I did flip through my last kind of sets of data to kind of get general comparables. This is kind of what we opened. So we're going to start with rares. We opened 1,415 rares, which was roughly around what it normally is. 515 super rares and 173 legendaries. All that is very much the same as it always has been, or within the margin of error that you'd expect. So plus or minus one or two cards. That's interesting thing to note about that is that means that the extra rarities, specifically the epics, did not take away from the regular rares, supers, and legendaries that you would get out of a booster pack. The next thing is Enchanteds. So we opened 12 Enchanteds, which is up from previous times. In Reign of Jafar, we had like real bad luck, and it was probably because I was in charge of opening. We only opened 8 Enchanteds, and I'm just not. I love Enchanteds, but I'm not good at pulling them. When I flip back through kind of our last little bit of data, there have been other times we've only opened 8 and times that we've opened more like 11. I think 12 is the most so far, which is great. And that definitely meant that there was more than one per case, which is always nice to see, but it's not enough, and it's not enough of a consistency of opening enchantments that I'd say enchantment rarity is up, although I would love it to be. Maybe in a couple of sets, I'll look at 12s across the board for enchantments, and I'll say it's totally up. But right now, it might have just been luck. Other things to kind of note here are the new stuff. So epics are new. We opened 63 epics, which is 1.43 per box. So that was a nice thing to have added because as you open a box, you're no longer kind of sitting and thinking, oh, this could be like the 1 in 5 chance for the enchanted. Every box had something fun in it, and some boxes had two. Iconics, you'll notice I have no data for iconics. We didn't open any iconics. In 11 boxes, cases, I didn't open any, which is sad. I thought that the iconics would maybe be like 1 in 10 boxes, maybe 1 in 20 boxes, but like none in 44 is a lot, and it makes me sad because I really want to see want to see them. So hopefully we just had bad luck and they're more common than that, but it looks like from what I'm seeing online, they are pretty rare. So that's kind of the gist of that we opened. Specific things, I guess, are we had a nice spread of Enchanteds. We only got a couple of duplicates. Let's pop up my Enchanteds. We only had a couple of duplicates, which for us, real lucky, was some very playable stuff with the Dumbo and the Bell. Otherwise, we had like kind of a nice sampling of all the Enchanteds. Other things here are the epics. So epics, so when it comes to distribution like this and with foils, they're not as evenly put in booster packs as the regular stuff would be, but they're out there globally quite evenly. It's just you can definitely have runs where you get a lot in one area. And this was the case for epics for us. So I got like 6 Pegasus, which is awesome. It's super cute. But I only got 2 Auroras. That was the one that personally I was chasing. So I would love to see more Auroras, and hopefully, like I said, at the end of pre-release weekend, we do see some more of that. But there's definitely a discrepancy here as far as like evenly split epics. And like for steel, we got very few just steel in general with epics. But again, that is just kind of like a groupings of booster boxes and not necessarily anything more than that. So that is that. If you are interested in any of this, there is a QR code to the spreadsheet if you like the math and the formulas. If you don't like math and formulas and you like graphics, I have a graphic breakdown on Instagram. I'll probably also have it up on Reddit because that's normally where we put it, because the people on Reddit seem to really like numbers. And I like numbers too, so totally for that. So that is what we opened. We'll be opening more. I might add to it. I might just leave it at that. I do hope you have just as good luck, I guess, with Enchanteds for us because that felt increased. But I hope your luck with Iconics is way more than mine, and I hope that you get some Iconics on pre-release weekend here.